Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Ready to move on to the Pack Attack?
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the Green Bay Packers. So if this is your first time watching, like the channel, subscribe, and leave your comments down below as far as the Packers offseason and what you think they're going to do this season. They finished 9-7-1 last year. They had a tie. I thought that was interesting. So let's look at our favorite moves. Give me your favorite move. Chris,
I have kind of a left field one.
Okay.
Well, this is very dependent on him making it out of training camp, but right now I'm going to say Sky Moore,
Okay.
who has not done much in his NFL career, but he is a returner, and the Packers have purposely neglected their return game for years. They literally will not draft or sign players to help with that. And by all accounts, he's having a nice training camp. He might help a little bit. He might be the number 4 receiver. We'll see. If he makes the team, he's definitely going to be the punt returner. So I have high hopes in Sky Moore.
I like that one. It's just if this video might not age well for you, that's all.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So the Packers last year, 22nd against the run. Hargrave is a solid defensive tackle that can help with the run, so I did like that move. It says he's out. Do we know how long it is? I might ask you questions. Okay.
No, I don't think there's anything to be too concerned about there.
Okay, you're the Packer fan. Hargrave, how you feel about that?
This kind of, if we could go into least favorite move,
go ahead. Go for
it. It's fine. My least favorite move was signing Zaire Franklin and Hargrave. Not as bad, but I just feel like we signed two kind of like older players,
Sure.
And I would prefer to have younger talent. And it's like Franklin was pretty bad with the Colts. He was like one of the last. I think Pro Football Focus had him near the bottom for linebackers. So like that one I really did not care for. Hargrave, he's going to be a nose tackle. It's not a exciting, if he plugs the hole, great. We have young players that I believe in the preseason game with Hargrave not playing, I forget if it was is it Colin Oliver? Colin Oliver I think was playing nose tackle, but he's a big body, 10-year vet. He's going to be a space filler basically. Like it's fine. That's not bad, but
yes.
It's just, I like younger, faster players.
Sure. So the question would be is if they didn't sign both of them, would you have been more like okay with Hargrave then?
Yeah, I think
okay.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I just think like in their division they got to focus on stopping the run. So like with Hargrave they can do that. I did put down losing Halfley, Jeff Halfley, as it's not their fault, sort of a negative. Just because it seemed like they actually finally got a defensive coordinator and then it kind of fell apart.
Here's the truth that they don't want you to know is that the defense was actually a little better under oh my gosh, I'm having a brain. The previous guy. Why can't I think of his name?
Capers?
No.
Okay.
The bad one. You're gonna have to edit this. I can't think of his name now.
Let me look it up.
Oh my gosh, yeah, total brain collapse.
You said though that it's basically he was a little better.
The guy Halfley replaced.
Yeah.
The evil one.
And he was a little better.
Joe
Barry. Okay, yeah.
Like the defense was a little better, like even 2 years ago, like Halfley's first year. But Joe Barry had a bad reputation, and it's good that he gone. But it really wasn't that much better with Halfley, and I sort of think that if you're one of the architects of one of the worst playoff collapses of all time, like I'm not sad to see you go.
Okay.
That's just my take.
No, that's fair. It's a fine take. It's just that you never know. Like, didn't they were like 9th last year, right? They were top 10 the last 2 years, or no? Am I wrong?
Team defense, they do have them scoring 11th.
Okay.
That's solid, but
right. Yeah.
They also blew some really bad games.
Yeah, somebody could blame the head coach maybe for sitting the ball
Yes,
too much too, as well.
agree,
Right.
agree.
So, but fair enough. I also put Gary for fourth. It was
Mhm.
fine. The only thing is like your pass rush is kind of questionable now because
Yeah,
like you won't have Micah Parsons for like 6 weeks, and
yeah,
then you got who knows how he's going to be right when he comes back. So
yeah.
Gary, I think was he led your team second, I think, in sacks, right? Last year or something like that.
No, no. I think I had only a couple less sacks than he did. He didn't have any like the last 10 weeks of the season.
Okay.
He did.
He
He
did.
did finish with 7.5, and they were all like the first half of the season, and then he completely disappeared like the last 8 or 9
Okay.
games.
See, this is why you have a Packer fan on. But did
Yeah,
he finish second in sacks on your team
he
though?
did. He did.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's okay. Okay. So but what you're
yeah,
saying it was early on, not and then not later.
yeah.
So did it seem to fall off after Micah Parsons got injured?
Uh, Definitely, but it was trending bad before that even.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay, but yeah, so I just like again it goes to the fact like so you kind of have to survive. We'll see if they
Yeah.
can without
Well, what
Parsons.
they're hoping for is that Lucas Van Ness in year three has his breakout, and I mean maybe,
Sure.
probably not, but maybe we'll see.
Okay, yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay. Green flag going into the season. What you're most excited about for the Packers?
What I'm most excited for is we've kind of trimmed the wide receiver room a little bit. There's not five guys competing for targets. I think I'm hoping. I think Golden is going to have a much more prominent role because I think he's an elite talent, and he's going to be hard to cover. And I'm hoping that he takes a step up as like I'm the number one receiver on this team, and we actually, if that happens, we treat him like it and feed him the ball, and not just like you get 5 targets, you get 5 targets, you get 5 targets, and there we
Yeah.
go. And ultimately, I hope we pass more instead of LaFleur likes to run the ball, and normally I would agree, but I think this team is built to be a passing team.
Well, it's not just that. It's like we'll talk about when we get to the red flag. So I do have the run game and their offensive scheme in general written down as one of the
Mm-hmm.
things like you can just know like you're going to see people running open in the field. He's going to get running lanes, Jacobs. So I think that's always going to be a positive. And obviously Jordan Love has to be a green flag because as much as he frustrates me watching as a Lions fan for various reasons, he's still a really solid quarterback,
Yeah,
like really good quarterback. So he has to also be a green flag going into the season.
yeah, yeah. I don't have any. I don't know if he's in like the top tier of quarterbacks, but I don't have any worries about him. Like the I will say this: the perception of him is not really fair because he'll throw like a one bad interception in a primetime game, and people are like, "Oh, he's terrible," and it's like he threw six last year.
No,
And
yeah, that's what
sometimes he
I'm. Yeah.
throws them at inopportune moments, but like he does take care of the ball.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how much, like I think LaFleur should trust him more.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. What bothers me, but I gotta kind of like get over it, is he throws up like two balls up a game where his receiver
Yeah,
will like do something to come down with it. I'm just like,
yeah,
how does it always happen? But at some point, you gotta be
yeah,
like, well, he knows what he's doing
yeah,
apparently. So, and
yeah,
that's where I kind of came down this year. It's like, oh, he knows what he's doing. But yeah, I agree. I think like I don't. I guess I don't hear a lot of hate on him, but I
yeah.
feel like he doesn't get talked about as like this, like
No,
the second tier of quarterbacks, or
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And I think his if we actually won that Bears game, I think his reputation would be better because he had over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, and the team let him down. But say la vie.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's go to our biggest concern, our biggest red flag going into the season for the Packers.
The screaming, glaring red flag is the offensive line is not good. And there's potential. There's like high draft picks. They just have to put it together.
Hmm.
But our all our like offensive line metrics are really bad. And I think like the early offensive line rankings, we were like 27th. So that obviously is just kind of a prediction for the season from various sources. But that would be the biggest problem by far.
Yeah, you need a good offensive line. I also have run game. I mean, not run game, pass rush. Pass
Yeah,
rush with Parsons being out until he comes back. You got to figure
yeah,
out that. And like you said, maybe Van Ness like jumps onto the scene, but we haven't seen it yet, so that's for me a red flag.
Um,
Go ahead.
I would say the other one would just be Parsons and Kraft coming back from major injuries.
That's a good one.
You just never know. Obviously, the ACL science is better than it's ever been, but you just never know.
Yeah. No, I agree. A step or two, right? Like, yeah. I also would say, so you kind of answered this in your green flag, but would a wide receiver please stand up is what I wrote down. Like, could we have one of them jump off the screen? That'd be nice. And then Matt LaFleur. I love his system, but he's got to stop sitting on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he'll ever be coached out of that, like coach himself out of that. And I know a lot of Packer fans were thinking, hey, we got to like maybe move on from him last year. And I wonder, like, when you have a devastating loss in the playoffs, like he did, sometimes you lose the locker room. So I'm kind of like monitoring that a little bit as we move into this season.
Yeah, there was some stuff out there, I think even maybe from him, that there was some disgruntled players. And you got to think who, off the top of my head, Quay Walker was gone. You know, he was a first-round pick. We didn't bother signing him after his rookie contract. Dontavian Wicks, they shipped out. Keyshawn Nixon, we'll see. He's not having his PR is pretty bad right now. But yeah, I think if you read between the lines with some of the players they let go, and then LaFleur says people weren't happy with their roles, I think you could see, you know, the guys that weren't happy, they moved on from. But you know, who's to say? Like you said, you know, if they don't get off to a good start, and it's kind of or more of the same this year, like it could be a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Fantasy football go-to for you.
My fantasy football go-to is Josh Jacobs because he's pretty automatic from inside the 5 or 10 yard line. Red zone touchdown. So not like a ton of yards or explosive plays, but he is the goal line guy. So I would say Jacobs.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna say I like Reed. I think he might be a good flyer. I think he got injured last year. He didn't play a lot.
He had a lot of bad injuries last year.
Yeah, so if he can stay healthy, that might be like a sneaky third wide receiver option because I think he's going to get targets. Like he's that slot dude. And then Kraft might be a good flyer if he's not taken super high. I haven't done a fantasy draft. I should have looked at his average draft position, but people forget how good he was last year. So like, just watch out for him.
Yeah, he had 15 yards a catch last year.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't think he'll keep that up, but I think he'll be good. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's predict the Packers, man. Over under 5, 9.5.
I have them at 10-7.
Okay. I have them at 9-8.
And that's fair. I might have made 10-7, like we talked about with that first Vikings game.
Yeah. I
might have put a W on that. So yeah, 9-8 is totally fair. I'll just say stick with 10-7, but I wouldn't disagree with 9-8 by any means.
It's all around the same area. Usually, like sometimes I'm like, we should just predict instead of the exact number, like a range. I could see them finishing 8 to 10 wins or something like that. Like, but anyway, okay.
I think the two I didn't really make a strong decision. We have Buffalo and Houston at home, and those are like the two best teams in the AFC. So that's kind of that's a little shaky, but at least we're home.
Yeah, that's true. Buffalo should be okay. Houston, you might have an advantage. Like Buffalo will be fine coming to Lambeau. Houston might be the one where you get a little bit of an edge because of the weather. Is it in wintertime?
Yeah, it's they're both December games.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment down below. Give us your predictions for the Packers this season. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.